Hey, good morning to everybody. A happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, 7 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, this is the video that I should have done at 5, but I overslept. Believe me, I have thought long and hard about this. I actually just took an hour long. I've been thinking about it since I made the last video. I just took an hour-long walk around town, and I was thinking about it so much that I walked past. I was going to stop at the library to drop off overdue videos, and I walked right past the library. I just got back home and realized I was still carrying the videos because I was thinking so deeply about this. What I want to talk about, I want to just talk about the debt ceiling once again, because there's two sides. There's two basic views to this. Democrat or progressive view, and the Republican far right MAGA view. You know what? And I was thinking about coming up with an analogy or a comparison. I'm not looking to change other people's minds, to convince other people. It's not like a fight to convince somebody else that I'm right and they're wrong. What I want to do is just explain my point of view and put it out there and why I feel this way. And if it's not correct, if it's faulty, let me know. It's about discussing different views and finding the best solution instead of just arguing that somebody's right and somebody's wrong. I think that's a little more constructive. I was going to use an analogy for the debt ceiling. I was thinking of using like a catering business that lets the wealthier clients slide on paying the bills. I was talking about that. I was thinking about talking about timeshares and the same kind of situation. But I decided not to use those because I thought about what we're talking here is hunger and food. And people going hungry, and I thought it was it wasn't right for me to compare it to try to use an analogy using timeshares or catering, and to equate that to going hungry. So I thought I'd just talk straightforward and in a way that the people that I am talking to would understand. Okay, the two sides basically, Republican MAGA view, is to cut back spending, but increase military spending. Now their view, MAGA Republicans claim to be all about business. That's the reason they voted for Donald Trump. He's a businessman to try to have the government work as a business model. Right, and not rule with compassion or your emotions, but business when you're talking about money in the country. And what they're doing is the opposite. That's my position here. Okay, so what they want to do, the MAGA Republicans, they want to spend more money on the military, less money on the real dangers, climate change, possible another pandemic or something like that, where money or maybe AI. To me, those are the biggest threats. Instead of talking about nukes or battleships or the armed actual infantry. As far as them wanting to cut back on what they call entitlements or Medicare or Medicaid or the SNAP program, I feel like instead of using common sense and the business model, what we have here is people that aren't paying their bills. That's where we're losing the most money here. The people at the top that aren't paying their bills. We're talking about trillions of dollars over a 10-year period and increasing the IRS in order to get back that money. If you had a business and you weren't collecting the money owed you, the business would keep hemorrhaging. You could cut back services to lower tier services, but the business is going to continue hemorrhaging. It's not a good business model. If your business is suffering financially and there's a large amount of money that's due you, it seems short-sighted to just ignore people not paying their bills, especially the biggest bills. Instead, it seems like they're using their emotions, because let's be honest here. the MAGA Republicans, they said it. They said they don't want people sitting on the couch when they could be working. And to me, that's an emotional response. They have issues with envy, and it's more of an emotional feeling that, well, because I have to do this, so should they. And instead of going with business is hemorrhaging, the country or business will continue hemorrhaging. It'll continue losing money if we're not getting back the money that's owed, the big amounts of money. And it seems more like an emotional response for these people to go after people that they think are lazy, which is really, when you're talking about the top tier of people not paying their bills, you're talking about hundreds of big money. Whereas when you're talking about cutting Medicaid and stuff like that, you're talking about nickels and dimes. It doesn't seem like a logical, good, common sense business model to ignore overdue, especially huge overdue bills. Your business is hemorrhaging. And on the other side, to hire for Democrats and progressives to shore up the country so that everybody is healthy, getting the food they need, and everybody is paying their fair amount, including the billionaires at the top. And as far as the military spending goes, if you're going to spend money on protection for the country, it should be for very real future threats like AI and climate change is probably one of the biggest ones I could think of. To me, that is a very logical upfront. It should ring true, I think, to people that on the right that are business minded, that wanted a businessman for president. You're ignoring past due bills, the country hemorrhaging, the people at the top not paying their bills, and to not even want it to. It seems like an emotional response. They don't like the government, they don't like the IRS, so they don't want to hire IRS agents to do their job and collect this money. It seems very short-sighted. It seems like an emotional response and not a good logical business view of this whole thing with overspending and the debt. I hope I made some sense. Let me know what you think. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Have a good Wednesday.